good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending at what time you will be watching this live Teachers podcast brought to you by TalentHut's TESOL Academy. I am your favorite host, Teacher Randy, and with me today is a very special guest, all the way from Saudi Arabia, Mr. Mohammed Lakma. Mr. Mohammed Lakma graduated with a master degree in English literature from CAST Pakistan, and he has completed professional fellowship in curriculum design with policymakers. He is a US certified trainer, British IELTS examiner, IGCSE academic director at Arte British School, and holds a professional development diploma from Arizona State University. He's an experienced educator and counselor. Mr. Mohammed specializes in English linguistics, curriculum development, and exam preparation, such as ITS, PTE, OET, and TEFL. He's also skilled in engaging diverse classrooms. He has organized seminars and professional development programs with Puan and Rilo, Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to have Mr. Mohammed to the Teachers Podcast. Mr. Mohammed, you're welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for such an incredible introductions. I'm highly grateful. And first of all, before we proceed to our introductions, I'm highly grateful for your time and for arranging this incredible podcast session series right here. I'm doing great. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, and everything is pretty well. And it's a great pleasure right here that I'm having conversation with you right away. And yeah, that's actually absolutely fine.
Thank you so much for taking you the time to be here, and we're so excited to learn from your experience and insights. Once again, you're welcome to the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, you may want to grab your pen, your book, and perhaps a popcorn, and of course, some drinking water so you can enjoy this insight with Mr. Mohammed. So, Mr. Mohammed, the first question on our podcast list today is, can you briefly introduce yourself and share with us your journey in English language education?
Hi guys, thank you for asking these questions. Thank you very much once again. Well, this is me, Muhammad Lukman. I would like to just precisely introduce myself as you already have incredibly introduced me to the audience. I would like to make it more precise. This is me, Muhammad Lukman. You're watching me right away from Saudi Arabia. I'm an educator with a strong background with linguistics and literature, and I have been involved in teaching courses like English as a language as well as a subjects in different institute there in Pakistan. I was also very much involved in curriculum development, student access, Microsoft scholarships. It's something like a kind of organizations and a kind of like a best platform for students. So I was also a keen member and active member with that organization, and I was actively involved in English language educations, working with different diverse background and proficiency levels. So far my background is considered I have been involved in many institutions like Rally Pakistan, PAN, which is very famous there in Pakistan, of course, and it's affiliations with the United States and the U.S. Department of States with different organization. It was a privilege for me working with them as a policymaker, as an educator, and you can say as a trainer. Right after my graduations of my university, I was very passionate, teaching children's, youngsters, even though apart from the context. I was also running my own academy there. The name was English Language Academy for Youngsters, right? During my studies, that was something a kind of a passionism for me. Right after this, I started my professional career as a IELTS trainer and TOEFL trainer, working with British councils and PTE officials. So I used to train different students from different backgrounds, like including professors, policymakers, doctor professionals, and much more. So, well, all in all, I was something involved in these kind of activities till now, Alhamdulillah, right now, and it's I got an opportunity right here in the Middle East, and now I'm just doing my activities and taking responsibilities and working as academic director at Al International Schools. That's what about me. Yeah, that's I just summarize it in a nutshell.
Wow, that's a lot. You've got a lot of hats on you. We're surely going to learn so much from you today. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
thank you.
Now, in all of these you've gotten, what inspired you to specialize in linguistics and English language training?
Oh, well, that's very interesting questions, by the way. Since I was very much involved in teachings and training students from different backgrounds, so this is what actually from the very childhood, it was my passion to be a good educator, a trainer, and a teachers in a diverse environment. So yeah, actually, linguistics is only the way, and literature, which I mean, it's the reflection of society. It is to inspire me, and this is what actually it excelled me. How I showed my interest in language and how actually language helps the society and also in communication. So I believe that these were the basic things when I opt literatures and linguistics. It actually inspired me that actually how actually it works, how a language and people communicate with each other, and how we normally exchange information with each other through culture diversity, inclusives, or many more things. So then I came to know that why not I have to just give my like services to the people in a modern practices, not even in the traditional way, but on the like international and global market or in the market. So that's what actually it inspired me. The only thing is that linguistics and literature as well. So seeing students successful and achieving their success and their goals in life actually inspire me to do more work in my area or in my work in my professions to train and to achieve more. So that's what actually inspired me a lot.
Thank you so much. So, if I get you right, to reach a lot of people, to reach people globally, you
Yeah.
feel linguistic and English will go wider, and so you had to train for that. Did I get
Yes.
it correctly?
Exactly. That's what actually I mean to say that it's now the AI. It's the era of AI. Everything is now, rapidly changing. So from the very traditional shift to the modern practices. So I believe that it's very important to let others aware about the importance of linguistic and literatures. For example, if I'm the teacher, I train the students. So definitely, if I'm inspired by something, definitely the students whom I'm teaching, definitely they will be definitely directly or indirectly inspired by my work. So that's what actually it's a wider community to train the professionals in different ways.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful to know, Mr. Mohammed. Okay, the next question. What, as an academic director, what does a typical day look like for you? Is it very easygoing take? Like today, I had a very hectic day almost, and if I want to tell you how my day went, I'm not sure we're going to still be here. So tell us,
Yeah, I can. It's all right. Yes.
what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, from like since a shift from the teaching directly coming into the administrations, definitely it's a kind of different challenge, of course. But as academic director, I believe that actually it usually involves me overseeing the different activities like plannings, planning curriculum, planning the lesson plan, and also monitoring the teachers and also monitoring the academic progress in different ways, starting from grade first to grade 12. So actually, what I believe that when I used to attend the meetings as academic director with the teachers coming from different backgrounds, I usually observe classes, review lesson plans, and also, coordinating academic activities like, different activities to involve students to monitor their different levels like social emotional learnings, which is very important as most importantly, I work closely with teachers. This is what actually it looks like. And all the day, I just, making policies, making new things, and arranging seminars for teachers training to motivate them about the different ongoing trends and all stuff. So this is what actually I'm very much, blessed to have these kind of leadership skills. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a lot of work. Well done, well done. Now, from your background,
Yeah.
yeah, from your background, I saw that you've gained a lot of experience. Now, how's your international experience shaped your approach to teaching and teacher training?
I would like to just again give my again review upon these questions. It's very important, and yeah, it's playing a very vital role when someone is on international platforms. So since I've been in international communities, providing trainings for the teachers and also teaching the students as well, coming from different diverse environment. So I believe that my international experience actually significantly helped me a lot to understand different cultures. First of all, understanding different cultures is highly important because we have different learning styles and educational system. It has taught me the understanding and diverse culture, I would say, and specifically if you talk about the teaching context. Or okay, so I encourage teachers to use, I believe, modern strategies. Yes, yes, I'm here. Yes.
I am
I
just,
think it's
do,
internet
do,
connection issues.
okay, okay. If it continues like this, do you have a link? Do you have a link?
I will. Yes, of course, it's possible. If you want me to record it, definitely I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fine now. I guess
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
fine. Can we go with that?
Right. Oh, yes. I hope it's continue like this. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah, yeah.
All right. That's beautiful. Okay, so I
Yes.
will yeah, let me go back to my question. I didn't get the parts number four, so I'm going to start again. I'll start from the four. I would ask you. Okay. So, has your international experience shaped your approach in teaching and teacher training?
It is consider it absolutely helped me a lot to understand the different culture, learning style. Specifically, it has taught me one thing which is very important, and that is flexibility, inclusions, and most importantly, teaching methods in different ways to meet the international standards. If I talk about the teachers trainer, how did I train the teachers in international communities? So actually, it helped me a lot to encourage teachers in different ways to let them aware about the modern teaching approaches, practices, and also it actually helped me to share my strategies to learn more strategies from different diverse background professionals coming best practices and to could feel valued and supported. Yes, this absolutely helped me a lot while maintaining the international standards.
Thank you so much for sharing this. We'll move to the next question.
Well, again, I would say it's very important for every teacher who or in this profession, more than English teachers candidate who is just stepping into the international community. He must be aware about the creativity, classroom management skills, and AI must be familiar with the ongoing trends. And they should be able to engage the students, adapt their teachings, methods, and different learning styles needs. And definitely, I encourage critical thinking, which is highly important, and collaborations with the students as well as with the management. As academic leader and policymaker, I believe that it's highly important that one should be passionate about learning and committed to helping students succeed. So this is what actually important for every teachers coming from different diverse environment.
That's beautiful. I think I love that skill, critical thinking. Yeah,
Yes.
we all need it to succeed in any profession we find ourselves. Thank you for sharing that also. We now move to the next question. In your opinion, what do you think?
You're
What
welcome.
makes English teaching in the 21st century different from modern, from traditional learning style or methods?
All right. So yeah, in English teaching, so for in 21st century is something like it should be more student center. I would say should be based on the total physical response rather focusing on the grammar translation method, which is traditional method. I believe that in the 21st century, it's something more based on technology driven as compared to the traditional approaches. Today, it's something like mainly focusing not only on the grammar, but memorizations or different things, but not only communication. In the 21st century, I believe that communication is playing, much more important and highly important for this kind of stuff or context, because actually it involves teachers in the real world language use, and teachers need to use digital tools, multimedia resources, and engaging different kind of activities, like we can say JAXA Classroom, we can say multimedia things or resources, or many AI tools that helps teachers and students to make it more easier, specifically with the ongoing trends. So ultimately, it's highly important to be aware about the real world language use, and also the critical thinking again, and multimedia use and the use of technology in a practical environment.
Wow, thank you so much. That there is a big difference, I must say, from the modern way of teaching, the 21st century teaching, and the traditional way of teaching. Yeah, for me, I would also
Yeah.
want the child-centered approach. I love that. I love that the most. Oh,
Yeah, it's very important. Like, thank you. Sorry to cut you off.
it's
It's
fine.
something like important for every teachers. I would say, because when we provide student center approach, depending on the different levels, so we need to understand their social emotional learning skills, how they are, coming to the classes, how they are putting their interest in the classes, and how the teacher is approaching the students. Like, if we see in the old traditions, mostly in the remote areas or the rural areas, most of the teachers, like, they just, lack of resources, digital tools, and many more things, facing a lot of problems and challenges, just relying on the book and reading stuff. So that makes something like difference. So I believe that, yeah, critical thinking and open physical response to the students, it's highly important to achieve the goal.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Okay, so you've worked with different organizations, institutions like the British Council and the US Embassy. Now, what major lessons have you gained from these collaborations?
Yeah, it was a very, very, uh, I would say, um, a best moment for me while working with the British and US in English department. Well, actually, it helped me a lot to understand the educational standards, continue my professional development, and learning with the British Council embassies. I would say implementing partner with the relevant organic techniques and methodology of culture understanding in education, of course. More importantly, the thing is that it reinforced my ideas, like how to understand the educations, how to understand the collaboration, and how can we put our own, creative ideas, innovations to meet the educational standards in us. So this is what actually reinforced me to learn about the professional developments, to just exchanging information with each others, and mostly creative innovations while making a different scenarios for professionals in order to meet the international standards. That's what I learned a lot of things, especially leadership skill.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I think at the end of this teacher's podcast, you have to drop your profile. So I know a lot of people would want to follow you to learn more. Yes, want to learn more from you. That's amazing. That's amazing, Mr. Mohammed. Now, from your own observation or in your own observation, what do you think are the challenges teachers globally faces? If yes, can you share some with us? And how can English teachers overcome these challenges?
Yeah, since I came in international, community or challenge. There are some that anyone can face while coming into the international communities or indulging in the diverse culture. English teachers face globally, including like different challenges. The very first thing is like proficiency levels. You might have seen that there are some teachers, they are very good in academics. Their profile might be very good. They will be holding PhD degrees, but sometimes they face language barrier with someone. They might be more fluent, or the other person may not be good. So that's what actually I observed the proficiency levels, lack of some sort of motivations, you can say. But sometimes, it's also very much a biggest for the teacher of and like for example, for teach what I observe, because either I train the teachers,
Okay.
when I came across, they actually come across the number of students are too much with one background. Many students coming from different skills. So challenge for the teachers to cope with different students, limited resources and adapting new technologies, of course. But the thing is that the question is how to overcome this. Like we have to follow, we have to just look for the solution. Teachers should be like flexible in teaching strategies, creating engaging interactive lessons, I would say, continuously updating their skills through professionals workshops or seminars or webinars to just get updates about the ongoing trends, how to cope with different teachers, how to cope with different students in different environment, or you can say collaboration with the colleagues and effective use of technology that can help them to prepare on uh,
Hello, Mr. Mohammed. I think I lost
yeah,
connection
yeah,
again.
I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you.
All
Yes,
right.
that's what all about the teaching. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. I so much enjoy the solution. Yes. Teachers watching us right now, you must be flexible. You must
Yeah.
learn, keep on updating your skills so you can follow the trend and also so you can keep up. It's very important. Despite your challenges, you can still become a skillful teacher. Only do the practice. Well done, Mr. Mohammed. Thank you so much for sharing this. We now move to the next question. What is English language for a purpose, and why is it important in today's education system?
Can we just repeat the questions? I couldn't get you.
What is English for specific purpose?
Hmm?
I'll say that again. What is English for specific purpose, and
Yeah.
why is it important in today's education system?
Oh, well, like I think it's one of the fundamental approach in English context. I would say like English for specific purpose. It's something like kind of an approach for language teachers. It's mainly focusing on the like I would say profession and academics. Well, if I talk about the ESP, which is something like specific purpose approach, and it helps like many learners to develop practical communication skills directly related to their careers and studies. In today's world, I believe that like English for specific purposes, students and professionals to communicate effectively help them to cope themselves in different environments and increasing their academic success while empowering different professionals and students, which I believe that ESP has a direct connection with the teaching context to have a specialized trainings and learning outcomes to meet the students' goal and their objectives. So yeah, it's highly important.
Thank you so much for sharing that. At some point in time, I lost the connection. I hope viewers got the message. Thank you once again. We now move to the next questions. How can teachers balance grammar instruction with communication and fluency in the classroom?
Yeah, it's also playing a vital role because a grammar and communication skill is two different things, I believe. Because a teacher can balance grammar instructions with communication and bring fluency with the help of grammar. But in a meaningful context, rather than in isolations, I would say after introducing like something like grammatical points to students, or students should have opportunity to use it through different sources like discussions, written or present. Real scenario activities. The ultimate goal is to help students understanding grammatical accuracy, which is highly important. That communicate effectively through written discourse, while also developing their ideas fluently and effectively. So ultimately, if we just look for the balance to in a parallel way, so yes, the white communication and communication also a best role while helping different professionals to communicate with an accurate range of fluency. So yeah, grammar is the stepping stone toward communication that helps the candidates or the learners or the teachers to communicate and to exchange their information accurately without any errors. So yes, it's actually highly important and playing a vital role in professionalism.
Thank you so much. So that means teachers need to learn grammar to teach
Uh,
effectively for communication to happen. The grammar structure needs to be spoken just the way it is. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed, for that.
yeah.
We now move to the next question. What practical advice would you give to an English teacher who really wants to improve in his or her teaching skill and in the classroom? Any advice for them?
Well, yeah, it's highly important. From my side, my sincere advice for the English language teacher is something like a kind of a lifelong a journey, I would say. So they need to stay updated with the modern teaching that could actually help them to focus on student needs. First thing. Second thing is that my suggestion would be to create interactive and engaging lessons, to encourage, most importantly, encourage communication, providing constructive feedbacks, I would say, and use technology effectively. And most importantly, and ultimately, building positive relationship with the students because it helps to support and motivate the classroom environment greatly, which greatly enhances learning and student success.
Thank you so much for
So
that.
yeah, this is that for them to have a close understanding about it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that too. English teacher, you want to improve yourself? Listen to this podcast. We now move to the next question, which will be what role does curriculum development play in effective language teaching?
Yes, curriculum development is something very important. I would say it's this foundational part in the subjects while designing curriculum for different level of learners. So I believe that it's playing a vital role in effective language teaching because it provides a clear framework for the students and also as well as for the parents to learn what they're supposed to learn, what are the clear objectives, and how will they achieve the outcomes. So, a well designed curriculum ensures that language skills, content, and most importantly, the assessment strategies where different teaching methodologies are aligned with the student needs and goals. So, curriculum development plays a vital role for the teachers because it needs to be delivered in a more structured and well structured way. It needs to be more engaging, and also meaningful lessons should be there to support the students because we will be having different students approaches and different level of student setting in the class. But for the teacher, my advice and suggestion in terms of designing the curriculum development, it needs to be diverse to meet the standards or student for the students coming from different levels of a background in order to achieve their success. It's going to be very easy for the policymakers as well as for the teacher as well.
Thank you so, so much for that. Now, this
Yeah.
next question reminds me of a teacher who reached out to me in a local classroom. She felt she wasn't enough, but I know she has all it takes, to become someone globally. Now, perhaps you have the answer for us, for her. I hope she watches this live podcast.
Yeah.
Now, the
Yes.
question is,
I'm
how
happy for
can
them.
teachers, yes, how can teachers position themselves as a global teachers even while working in the local classroom?
Yes, of course. Teacher can position themselves by staying informed about the international educational trends. Like we are having communication right now, we are trying ourselves to get updates what's going on, and by interacting with different educators coming from different backgrounds. Like for example, if the teacher is teaching there in the somewhere in the remote areas or any traditional ways, so that teacher need to get themselves with the local workshops designed or organized by different organization. So I believe that they need to understand the cultural diversity and integrating global perspectives into their lesson. So the important thing is that they need to encourage critical thinking again, collaboration, and cross-cultural understanding while using technology to connect students with the wider world. So I have seen personally, if I give the examples, even though when I was teaching there as in rural areas in the local market, so in the local classrooms, teacher only prepares students to become something like to make a habit of the books. So they just teach them the things that is being there in the book. So what I believe that you need to be like global citizens. They should encourage the students to be a global citizens and to get updates about what's happening in the world with ongoing trends. Also, technology is playing a vital role. They need to understand the tools, AI, how it helps teachers and students and learners, of course. So, by fostering respect and communication skills, I believe they need to be aware about the global issues, even though in the local classroom management or environment, or in the on international platforms. Highly important for both of them.
Thank you very much. To take home, critical thinking. The fact that you're in the local classroom does not determine who the kind of person you want to be. You can still become a
Yeah,
global teacher.
exactly.
Collaboration, this network, TESOL Academy, it's an international network for teachers,
Yes, exactly.
qualified, certified teachers to connect and learn and grow together. So do not be closed. Even though you're in a local area right now, you're watching us, you can still become more. We are gradually getting to the end of this podcast. The next question for you, Mr. Mohammed. What advice would you give to a new or young English teacher or struggling ones that are coming, they want to grow in their career? What advice would you give to them?
For the young guys, for the young
Yes.
teachers, yeah.
Yes.
Those who are struggling in their professions, as they have already chosen their professions for teaching. So if they want to be a teacher, of course, I would repeat, and that would be something like a kind of practical teaching practices, which is highly important. They need to be aware about the teaching trends. They need to be aware about the importance of diverse culture, and I specifically like intercultural communication skills. Those who are struggling with that, they need to be aware about the intercultural communication skills, how actually it helps people and audience to communicate with each other while coming from different diverse cultural backgrounds. And most importantly, building positive relationships with the students, highly important for them, those who are struggling in this way, and also making a supportive and motivating classroom environments and sessions, which can greatly enhance his learning outcomes and student success. And most importantly, the thing is that they need to just get themselves linked with the ongoing trends like seminars, webinars arranged by different certified professionals, educators coming from different countries. Like right now, we are connected with each other, learning from different,
Exactly.
running from each other. So this is what I believe that no one is perfect. No one is perfect in the world. We're all learning. Sky is only the limit.
That's
So my
true.
message for the youngsters and for the newcomers or those who are thinking to be a good educators or teachers in future. So it's highly important for them to be first of all a huge respect for their profession. First thing, no doubt they will be facing challenges and all stuff, and also just to get themselves engaged with high professionals people to get to know what's happening in the world, in the global market. Yeah, so that's what I believe it's really important for them.
Thank you so much for this advice. I believe we are jotted because I just took some to keep for myself and of course to also share. Thank you so much. And finally, what
Yeah.
is your vision for the future of English language education worldwide?
All right. So my vision is too big. So I would like to just, make it precise right here for the audience and for the teachers.
Okay.
Well, for me, for the future of like English teachers and educationals, it's very important to make learning more accessible. I would say more accessible to everyone. Everyone could access it, and most inclusive things must be there because when it's something to be relevant or need to be, because the world is rapidly changing, believe me. So English teaching should be on the language proficiency and focus more on developing communication. I repeat, more on developing communication because it's playing a vital role. Second thing, like my vision is to be like critical thinking capacities for different learners to have different groupings or different role-playing situations or global citizenships if they really want to see themselves in a global market. So they must be aware about it. So this is what my vision is that, for example, I believe to build a good center and a place organization where I could give these services for the youngsters, for those who want to get into this context or to be a good teacher. So these are the highly important for them because we all are educators. So we need to be more aware about these things to provide these facilities for the coming generation, for the youngsters who want to be in these professions, and most importantly, the important thing is the technology that actually will continue in future to play an important role in expanding learning opportunities. But teachers will remain the heart of learning process because it's a lifelong process. So, I believe ultimately, if I talk about my visions in a precise way, so education system that actually empowers learners from different backgrounds to connect, collaborate, and succeed in a global community. So yeah, it's important to have a global connection with each other to meet the international standards.
Wonderful. Thank you so, so much. That was a wonderful conversation we've gotten today. A big thank you to you, Mr. Mohammed. I am
Thank you very much.
very, very sure viewers out there, everyone listening, they appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And our viewers, we hope that you are leaving with new ideas and inspiration. Before I leave this Teachers Podcast, I want you to remember something, dear viewers. Stay passionate about teaching and learning. Until our next episode, take care and have a fantastic day. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. We are so grateful.
Much for your time. Thank you. Bye bye.
And there you go.